military had dog tags like this, we'd never have to reinstate the draft. It's Trigon time.
Focus Plumbing, always at your fingertips.
Pow! Danny Vegas time, Danny Vegas world. It is segment 3. We are $750,000 into the show.
Winning it live.
That's right. Oh, I love it. Well, Lisa King, again, like I do every month, thank you so much for being my co-host. You make this an easy $1 million.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm here to serve you, and I got to hang out with my good friend, Ruth Lover.
Oh, yeah, that's, it always falls on your week because their event's always at the end of the month, so it's always the third week, and that's you, and we're lucky because you guys have had a relationship for a very long time, like all our hashtags. So, okay, we're going to get into a little something that we got into last month, and it's going to be very interesting, but this whole week has been
Educational.
education. I was going to call it an S-storm. But it all started with this. Joe Gamble, run that minute clip that we did last month that got this whole thing started. So, because you ever go to the grocery store on the 1st?
I don't look at that.
I get so irritated. And maybe I'm a bad man. I don't know. But I'm sitting there like, okay, Friday's coming up. I got $40 to feed this family for 2 days. And I go in on the 1st. Oh, it's party time in there. I mean, it's a train. It's a train of shopping carts.
Right.
And I'm like, I got $40 for 3 days. And I can't help it. I just can't help not get irritated. I even tell my wife, like, I ain't going to the store today. There's no way I can go in there today.
No, there's plenty of assistance.
Wrong?
No,
Am I wrong?
Again, I've seen people on assistance, and it's pretty plentiful. Like I said, our funds are going somewhere. We just hope at some point there's enough Social Security for you and I to get by.
Wow. Okay, so there you are. You kind of saw what got this all started. Now let's go back in time, Lisa King, hashtag King Me. Mm-hmm. We started this conversation with the subject matter of should people on welfare benefits, and boy, did I get an education about what is welfare, what is not, who's this, who's that, what SDC, SDI, BDD, thank you. But people that are on welfare, I guess getting the food benefits,
Okay.
I guess, should they be drug tested?
Okay.
That was the initial conversation that
I think
we
it was
started.
right. Is those that
Right.
are on public assistance,
Right.
should they be subject to drug testing?
tested. And my question was, because now that certainly marijuana is more legal, it's recreational, you can run right down to the pot shop and buy this stuff. I don't call them dispensaries because they're not dispensaries, they're pot shops. So since they're more legal now, how can we do that? And of course, you gave a great answer, and I think I even put it in the post that, hey, if you're token, you're not interviewing. If you're drinking, slouching, slushing, drinking, smoking, you're not interviewing, and you think, and we both feel, that they should be in the same world as we live in. So, but then we did I did the thing, and I asked you, have you ever been to the grocery store on the 1st? And your answer was, quite frankly, I don't know what day I go to the grocery store. I just go when I need some food.
Sure.
Okay. Not me. My family buys food every day. We buy for 1 day and then go back the
Are you
next day.
serious?
My wife says that all the time, too. Yeah, it's kind of a Japanese thing.
Oh, okay.
It
All right,
is,
so you want fresh food.
No, it has
Maybe.
nothing to do with it.
Okay.
I just, I just go there and like, okay, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. We need some hamburgers. And okay, there's
I
today's
avoid it like the plague. I cannot believe you go every day.
Well,
That's
I need
painful.
I need to buy my monsters anyway. So,
They come in bulk.
yeah, Red Bull, whatever, and 3 pieces of chicken for $4. So anyway, but we go pretty much every day to the grocery store.
Okay.
So maybe that's, and I asked the question,
Sure.
was I wrong? Why do it was more of a question that I wanted help with why do I feel that when I go on the store on the 1st, especially when I'm in a position where I'm a little struggling for the month, wasn't so good at WCOBM, my wife spent all the $1 million or whatever, and I'm sitting there with $40 for 2 days, but I go there on the 1st, and it just seems like everybody's having a great time with loads of food, and I know they're on some type of assistance, which means, and I hate to say it, sorry for the emails, it ain't your money. You're spending someone else's money. And don't tell me that you put in the system for 40 years, because believe me, whatever you're getting out of it is a lot more than you put into it. And I got just, and you saw it last night.
I did. I didn't have a chance to see it till the end of the day.
Let me tell you something. It's still going on, and I have to admit, my good friend Jody Rocco, who loves this stuff, oh boy, she loves to fight. I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. I'm rock and roll all night and party every day. How did I get involved in this? So, but I will not back down. I do think our system that we have, and it certainly does lots of goods for lots of people, but it is a system that once you are on it, it can become a dependent thing that literally keeps you from being more productive in society. I believe it. I believe it to this day. I believed it 40 years ago. And boy, did I really get a berating. I'm not Danny Vegas is a lovable guy. Everybody loves to take pictures with Danny Vegas. And I'm not used to being called entitled and pricks and assholes and everything like that. I'm not used to it. So I really, to me, it's what caused this? Why there's so much energy of hate thrown at me, but at the same time, in the same post, they're actually throwing poison on the system that they belong to. Why is that? Why did we, or especially me, I guess, catch so much heat, do you think, from these folks that are part of this system?
Well, I think it's a touchy system. I mean, originally the concept or the subject was, should you, like we just said, is it necessary to get drug testing if you're on the system? Again, it's a system that is set up for those that need it. I think from what I took away, there's a whole lot of conversations that are had that are not necessarily on the air. Right. It's for those that need it, for those that, are on disability and have a legitimate reason and are struggling in one way or another. That's not what you're talking about. What you are talking about are, why am I upset when I see people who perceivably could maybe not have the ailments or the need that they are perceiving, and they're getting these benefits. I think that's kind of what you were referencing. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, that's what I was feeling. And someone even asked me, have you ever been homeless? And I reminded them, I don't see homeless people in the grocery store with an EBT card.
Right.
Okay, I don't see people who are out there. They're out on the street with their signs, okay? They don't have EBT cards.
Right, you're talking about something totally different.
Yeah, I was just, why do I feel that way? Is it because maybe that particular time I do only have $40 for due days? Maybe the next month things were great and I got hundreds of dollars in the bank and all the bills are paid and I'm taking my wife and family to Sizzler. Or Applebee's, because there's no more Sizzler. I mean,
I was going to say, is there a Sizzler?
There's no more Sizzlers, okay? But that's what I'm trying to say. And I got something for, and Joe Gamble, we're going to go a little long on this segment. I got something, because there's some guys that said some pretty mean things. That I was entitled and that I've never done anything in my life and blah, blah, blah. I got something to show you, especially John W., whoever you are. I brought something this today. Here is something that I've never shown to anybody in my life. This is an application for assistance that I walked into a welfare office 10 years ago to get assistance for my family because I was basically starving, okay? Because we had no jobs, no money, back on our mortgage, just literally my wife went to swipe her card and couldn't get a loaf of bread. And I walked into a welfare office and grabbed this to fill out to get assistance, but I didn't fill it out. You know why? Because I didn't want to get into this system. I just sat there and said, I don't want my family on this system because, not that I'm berating the people that are on it, I just didn't want to be included in a system that I felt was set up to get me dependent on it. So I still have it today. I keep it at home. This is a motivator to me. And this is what happened to me. So don't sit there and tell me that I'm an entitled prick because you think I'm some rich snob guy that has his own TV show, okay? I have been so poor I couldn't even pay attention. And so there you go. and I just had to get that out there.
No, I think perception is reality. And again, there's, when I finally sat down and said, wow, my notifications have gone a little wild. And I started reading it and, I can understand. I try to look at both sides of the coin, but I don't think that was necessarily how it was coming across. Again, there's good, bad in everything. There's
Right.
good, bad in every profession. There's good, bad in every system. And I think from what my takeaway from it was what you were referring to is those that might not be, utilizing the system. They're maybe taking advantage of the system. And I'll be the first one to say, for those that are homeless, I have woke up. I did it a couple years ago with a great group here in town until we weren't able to do it because the police was stopping us.
Right.
But we were up making 400 lunches for the homeless, So my heart goes out to anybody who is
Right.
physically ill or has a situation. We've all had situations. But in referencing those that maybe don't have a situation, that maybe became, like you just said,
Right.
dependent on it and are not striving for more. I believe that's what you were referencing.
That's and I am. I do believe that there are many on that systems, and the welfare system has doubled over the last 8 years, cut down over the last year and a half. I'm not going to even go there, but at the same time, I do feel it's a system that rewards. It's built for dependence, and people get dependent on it, and it affects their decision making going forward.
Mm-hmm.
I could do this, but I'm going to lose this.
Sure.
And I think once you have a system that does that, then it's not a system that's helping, it's really hurting. And I think I've had that thought my whole life. And maybe when I'm sitting in that grocery store and I have $40, and you know what, I didn't sign up for it. I have $40, I got to feed my family for 2 days, and I'm sitting there, and it doesn't seem like I'm looking at people that are hurting, that are needy.
Sure.
I don't see that. Mm-hmm. I see it's great day. I don't know. It maybe certain I get irritated. Maybe am I the only person on the planet? Anyway.
And I think that was your question.
Right.
Why do you feel this way?
Yeah, why do I feel this way? Am I the only one that feels this way? Is it because, like I said, maybe that day I only have $40 to go for 3 days and I don't want to tell my wife because she's going to be mad? Or and maybe another month, like I said, bills are paid, we're going to Sizzler, and everybody's fat, dumb, and happy. I'll sit in line for an extra 40 minutes to get through to buy my 2 monsters and a bag of chicken. So because I'm in line with folks that have 3 baskets carts of food. What is it? That was the question.
Sure.
And what I got for an answer, and I have to give Maria, who's going to have her own show here,
Oh, good for her.
a lot of credit because she was trying to educate me. Danny, this is why you feel this way, and this is why you should not feel this way.
Sure.
That's what I was looking for.
Right.
But mostly men came at me with some type of really some bad juju, bad juice.
Well,
So it's kind of interesting. And thank you, Nicole Taylor Sharp. Thank you, Jody Rocco, I threw a Jody Rocco lifeline. I said, Jody, get in here and help me here because you love this stuff. And they came in and helped me and saved me. So anyway, great. So anyway, okay. You know what, Joe Gamble? I think that's enough. Why don't we take a commercial break, come back for a short segment, and we'll collect our $1 million, and you're off to the races.
Fabulous.